When the clock strikes 6 on a Saturday, you know Chris Sutton's column's about to come out. Welcome back to Fog Football. Brendan Rodgers listened to some garbage after Dortmund, but I have something worth considering for Leipzig, is what Chris Sutton's saying. So what we're talking about here on this Saturday is Champions League. So if you don't like it, you know where the door is. But if you do like it, then you know where the door ain't. If that makes sense. Anyway, as for Chris Sutton, right, I've always said this, I just don't think a Saturday is a very good day for, as you can hear birds chirping, it's very early here, troops, alright, so reel it in, but yeah, I've just screamed at them, birds, reel it in. They're hitting the piss at me, they're still going, but it's like, I don't understand why he does it on a Saturday, his column, you know what I mean? I think they would definitely benefit more from not doing it on a Saturday. I feel like on a Saturday, it's like the weekend is just beginning, so it's like everything just feels a tad delayed. I mean, maybe if you did like a Friday and Monday, but then that's when you're getting into two columns at the end of the day. But anyway, this is what Chris Sutton had to say regarding Celtic and their Champions League hopes and all that good stuff. Am I walking in the right direction here? I am. Pitch dark. I recorded another vid there and I walked up a dead end. I was like, what? I wasn't even paying attention. Anyway, man, no one cares about that. And I said, and I quote, and Chris Sutton's went on about dead ends. Anyway, that was me. That's what he had to say. It's too early, troops. That's it. Relax. Alright. Bergamo provided key signals for the future, as well as the firm steps in the right direction. Rodgers had every right to be satisfied with his work. He had to listen to some utter garbage in the wake of Dortmund about his coaching, that it was one-dimensional and that he couldn't adapt. End of quote. I mean, I've cut the quote early there. Hold on. Right? He had to listen to some utter garbage in the wake of his Dortmund defeat. I don't think it was garbage, Sutton, right? Yo, everybody watching this video, right, we can all have banter, you know what I mean, all that good stuff. Was it really garbage? I'm not saying Celtic, right, are finished after losing, 7-1 to Dortmund, but I think thinking that Rodgers is one-dimensional and it couldn't be changed wasn't exactly. I mean, we literally heard him before the Atlanta game turn around and say, I'm not changing, albeit he did change, but, Rodgers' record in Europe's not that good, especially away from home, so I don't think it was completely and utterly out of the question to think that Rodgers couldn't change. So, got to disagree with Chris Sutton there. You know what I mean? Yeah, he goes on to say, Rodgers already proven it when he taken a Leicester team that he hadn't beaten City 5-2 with a counter-punching performance. Following the Borussia beating, he had to put up with that rate of flack, and I said clearly in this column that it wasn't deserved because they had every right to go into that game with confidence because of the way his side were playing at the time. The scoreline was embarrassing, but the approach could only be classed a crime if he repeated the exact same mistakes. We could all see in Italy he didn't do that. That's all you can ask for. Lessons to be learned and progression to be made. Now it's all about taking that forward again. There's no reason to suggest Rodgers won't flip and match for the upcoming ties. End of quote. For example, you do take aspects of Bergamo into a home tie against RB Leipzig. I'd say it's generally worth considering, just as I wasn't hammering Celtic after Dortmund. I wasn't hanging up bunting after Italy because there are areas to improve, and being picky, be cleaner in possession. But there's no doubt it was a huge moment for his boss and his players. With 4 points for 3 games, Celtic are probably 1 under par in golfing parlance, and they need to keep hitting the right shots. The adaptation was obvious. You only need to look at the selection of Adam Adea up front to see that. Just as in Dortmund, the question for Rodgers was the same as it is in any big European game. Is our build-up play better than the opposition's press? But it's like, right, check out the player ratings, and we rated Rodgers, and even the review of the Atlanta game, we praised Celtic, right? Praised them. But it was mightily naive against Dortmund, man. Aberdeen have played good this season, man. But if they turned up at Parkhead and played the way Celtic did against Dortmund, they'd have lost, the usual 6-0 special at Parkhead that Aberdeen have done in recent years. I'm not saying you hang Rodgers out to dry after the Dortmund game, but you know, it was poor. Like, there is no two ways about it. You know, it was easily avoided, that 7-1 defeat. I mean, but I'll tell you what, I kind of respect Rodgers for going for it. He got found out, then he adapted it for Atlanta, but I think to take no criticism is ridiculous at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But, here, I think it's like, here, my club know what it's like to lose 7-1. And if you compare the two 7-1 games, right, between Dortmund, Celtic and Liverpool Rangers went 1-0 up. You know what I mean? Rangers went 1-0 up with Arfield, and then just an almighty collapse, man, in that second half. It was disgraceful. As for Celtic, the warning signs were there for Celtic, you know what I mean? Like, they were getting pummeled, but they quickly made it one each. And they could have learned and, you know, patched things up quickly, but they didn't. I think the Rangers game, I think it was more like just like, I don't know. I mean, it's a few years ago, but I think in the Celtic Dortmund game, it's like Celtic thought they were still in it at 3-1 and 4-1 and continued to do what they were doing. In the Rangers game, Goldson went half injured. We collapsed, and when it got to like 3-1, the collapse kept going. You know, I think there's similarities to take, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, Chris Sutton, he's defending Rodgers, but I mean, really, what is there to say? Rodgers, I mean, he turned it around, because I tell you what, if he rocked up to Bergamo with the exact same tactics, I think there'd be a lot of unhappy boys right now. Absolutely.